Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl, coming at you with another pick a card reading. Today, we're going to do a short reading on what's the gossip on you right now, as energy is always changing, and I've done these before, but it's always nice to have an update just to find out how things are in present time or whenever it is that you click on this reading, as they are timeless readings. So first and foremost, I do just want to say thank you to everyone who has joined, who has become a part of this channel and this beautiful tribe and this wondrous journey. I'm just so ecstatic to have you all here, and if you're new, welcome. This is a reminder that this is a safe space to show up as you are, as we're all human here. So bring your authentic self, and I hope you feel welcome. If you are looking to support the channel further, you'll find all the links necessary down below in the description box, where you can follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, where it's just a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. And I hope to see you there. And if you are interested in getting a personal reading, send me an email. There are a finite amount of spaces available each week. But if you do email me, I'll let you know scheduling options as well as further information from there. It is first come, first serve, and they do fill up rather quickly. So today we are going to be choosing from these ones. No, they want these ones today. So we're going to be choosing from the Spirit Animal Oracle, and then I'll read these from the book. I absolutely love these cards. They're my new favorite deck. It's not hard to have a favorite deck, but this one is definitely one of the top decks that I have. So I'm excited about this, but I believe that's everything. Let's go ahead and get into your prayer, and then we will go ahead and get into your reading. Alright, perfect. My beloved sources, prayers for any and all who come onto this reading and into this space and join this channel. I ask that you bless them with love and with understanding, and with knowing that no matter what anyone says about them, that their truth is theirs and theirs alone. We are not a product of what others say of us. We are the product of what we choose to believe. And as long as we choose to believe in ourselves and to trust ourselves, we will always know that we are the magnificent beings that we are. This is the path I ask that you guide them to. I ask that you guide them to this understanding of what it is to be honest with self, and not to hide from self, and not to try to become someone that they're not, but to be okay and strong and powerful and empowered and courageous enough to stand out, even if it feels uncomfortable and even if they know they're different. But that it's through this discomfort and being different out in the realm that they are shining the truth of their light. And it is this light that allows others to be authentically okay with being themselves. And that's what true inspiration and true unconditional love is. For once we accept ourselves, we're allowed to accept others, no matter what may come or what is. And this is the journey and the path that I ask that you allow and light up for those that are on this video and on this channel. Source, as these words are spoken, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. In the little holder over here, maybe. Okay, there we go. We've got some ash on the table here. I can put over there. Okay, perfect. All right, so let me give this a souffle, and we'll go ahead and get into the reading. All right, so source, for pile number 1, what animal oracle will help us understand better what the gossip is on pile number 1? Thank you. And for pile number 2, source, what animal oracle card will help us understand better the gossip on pile 2? Thank you. And for pile number 3, source, what animal oracle card will help us understand better the gossip on pile number 3? Oh, thank you. Okay, and on the bottom we have Turkey Spirit, give with gratitude and grace. So maybe some of you are watching this at Thanksgiving time. Maybe not, but it's just an interesting one to come out. But always being thankful is a good way to go. So let me get this set up here. All around the world, it goes around the world, la 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 la. It's all around the world, just la 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 la. All right, Daft Punk, let's get it. Okay. So for pile number 1, we do have this beautiful piece of yellow citrine for you to choose from. For pile number 2, we do have this beautiful piece of zebra jasper for you to choose from. Okay. And for pile 3, we have this piece of raw aquamarine for you to choose from. So we do have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And whichever one you are drawn to, that should be the pile for you. And with that being said, I will see you over on your perspective pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful yellow citrine, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your pile on what is the gossip on you. We'll check that out at the end of the reading like always and get started with the dice. First and foremost, these are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you can check out the description box where you will find all the links necessary, where you can shoot me an email to get a personal reading, or I'm sorry. And if you do, just know that there are a finite amount of spaces available each week. They do fill up rather quickly, but if you let me know, I will get you out further information as well as scheduling options. It is first come, first serve. And you may also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, where it's with yours truly, a fun, chill hangout session. And honestly, I just really hope to see you there. So let's go ahead and get into your reading and find out what is the gossip on pile number 1, source. What can you tell us about what is the gossip on pile number 1? What messages do you have for us? What can you let us know? What is the gossip on pile number 1? Okay, before I get into this, we're asking about gossip. This does not make it true about you, okay? Whatever another person thinks or says is not your truth. Your truth is yours and yours alone. So if it is triggering you, just remember that is always an area to grow. And if you feel like it doesn't resonate, then just don't take it, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it and find out what is the gossip. We've got Capricorn, 7th house, and we have, is this Mars? Yes, indeedy Bob, that is Mars. Okay. So the gossip on you is that you're very aggressive when it comes to your relationships. That was interesting. Okay. You're someone who is very forward and abrasive when it comes to dealing with other people, whether that's family, friends, lovers, business partnerships, whatever it is. This could be coworkers, staff, anything like that, that sometimes you're very abrasive and that you tend to be so superficial is the word that's coming through here. You know, like it's almost like, oh, well, pile number 1, and they always have something going on. And so they're always dealing with the darkness, and they're like to have rivalries, and they like to cause drama, and they like to have superficiality come through, and they want to be seen as this, that, and the other. And honestly, with Capricorn here, I think it's just because you work really hard. You know, Capricorn's a very stable individual, right? someone who's very hardworking, who has a lot of structure in their life, very strategic, persistent, patient. They are masters at whatever it is that they undergo, right? But sometimes they are saying that you can be burdened and pessimistic. Sometimes you're self-limiting. These are energies that people are talking about, that you could be ruthless and rigid and cynical, that abrasive energy coming back through here when it comes to your relationships. That you sometimes like to be in control. Even though you're an authority, you should be leading, that there's a sense of having control coming through here, right? So the main thing here that they're talking about is they're gossiping about aggressive tendencies that you may or may not have, that you can be very rash, you can have force, that you're impulsive, and that all comes from being in a leadership position, or that you're very competitive by nature, and that people feel the bite and the sting of that competition, okay? Let's see. All right, let's get some tarot on it and see what comes out through the tarot. So, Source, what is the gossip on pile number 1? And sometimes what happens, pile 1, is that people will believe this, or they'll say this especially when you start cutting out people who you know are toxic for you. They're going to say things to defend themselves or make themselves look like the good guy, and that way then they don't have to face what it is that they brought to the connection, or whatever it may be, right? But yeah, there's some sort of like brutality coming through here, like manipulation. They're saying just very, very brutal when it comes to your conversations, or when it comes to dealing with your personal relationships. But if you're changing and growing spiritually, that does not surprise me. And that's not something to take really personal. Actually, take it as a compliment, because it means that you're doing something good for yourself. Now, if you're just being ruthless to be ruthless, okay, like, just be honest with yourself, okay? But what I'm saying is, like, if these people are just trying to defend themselves, which I do feel like is the case, is that remember that that's a huge compliment, because you're no longer letting people do the things that they used to for you, especially when it's low vibrational. So, Source, what's the gossip on pile number 1? What more can you tell us? Thank you. What's the gossip on pile number 1, Source? Okay, that is too many. No. Oh, they wanted that one. Show me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, but that you're beautiful. But again, this is a very strong individual, the Queen of Wands. She's somebody who's not afraid to bust somebody on their head with this wand. Like, put down some boundaries. You know, I feel like that's what Source is saying here. You're someone who's very much putting down boundaries around yourself, and those boundaries bite other people's idea of their self-fulfillment, their self, whatever it is, their self-gain. And they're struggling to figure out how to break those down. And you've got an armor around yourself right now. But they are talking about how amazing you look, and how beautiful you are, and how handsome you are. Yeah. But they do think that you're not seeing things clearly. Right? With the Hangman in the reverse here. They think that you have a slanted idea of the world around you, that you see things from, you know, very superficial, keeps coming through here. All right, so we've got the Page of Swords reversed. We have the 7 of Wands reversed. And the 8 of Wands reversed. A lot of wands, so a lot of fiery energy, which we have Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo energy coming through here. So fire energy, you may have fire very highly aspect in your chart. And then we have Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius here with the Page. So what they're gossiping about is that you have a tendency to connect with people who are like lost causes, themselves included, okay? Let's be real, that you like to control things. Again, this idea of control coming out with the 8 of Wands here. And that you don't want to face this. Like, you don't want to face the reality of the situation. That you'd rather be very defensive, and that you would rather be very off-putting than to say what's true. And I don't feel like that at all. I feel like you just learned how to set boundaries for yourself recently, or within the last, years or so. Like it feels very recent. Like it could be a long time for you, but it could be very recent just in comparison to your age and how long maybe you let these people walk all over you, right? And they don't like that. And so they're trying to say that you're a toxic individual, but really at the end of the day, I think it's hilarious. Like, we're all toxic. Every human being has toxic traits, no matter what. We cannot get away from it. 1 second. And that's why it's so important for us to always learn about ourselves, right? Is the more that we're growing and the more that we're healing, the better that we can come at life with a very balanced, harmonious energy. But they're saying that you're very toxic, and that also that you're a hard worker and that you're obsessed with getting work done. And that could be why they're feeling the bite and the competition that's coming through here. This could be coworkers coming through. But that sometimes you're very cold and distant, and you don't allow them to help you out on the journey. Yeah, so I feel like what's been true, though, is that you've had a maze of things that you've had to go through. You've had to overcome a lot, and so you're just learning how to really protect yourself now, especially with the Queen of Wands on the bottom here. Like, you're in a very powerful position for your own life, and it doesn't matter what others think of you, where you're at on your life, because if it doesn't serve their agenda, then that's on them. That's not on you. Let's get some clarifiers out here for pile number 1, though, Source. What do we got? Yeah, so we have the Chariot here coming out in the upright. Yeah, look. So they're saying, like, again, that superficial energy coming through here. Like, look at this rock star on top of this convertible with this guitar, like, waving to the crowd. Like, everybody wants me, everybody sees me. You had to make a decision for yourself, though. That's very clear. But they're gossiping about how you're very superficial. Like, you're somebody who is not what they say they are. And I just feel like it's just easier to put that idea on you than it is to get to know who you are. Then we have the 8 of Coins here. Yeah, you're somebody who's very obsessed with work. Like, you're very focused on your work. Look, and this is very interesting. Look at this. This looks like a ram back here. Well, it looks like a goat, really. But, like, it made me think of Capricorn energy, right? Even though this is a Virgo energy card, it's like that still makes me think of Capricorn, like that work. But somebody who can be very cynical. And maybe it's like you've learned to just be focused on work because people have been really cruel to you. But look, we have 7 and 8 coming out together here. Look, and 7 and 8 here coming out together. It's like, so you make progress in your life, and that's all. They do talk about how you're making progress in your life, but your progress all comes with like, so I'm hearing baggage, but it's like, it's deeper than that. It's like everybody, no one can keep up with your hustle, and so it makes them feel inadequate in their own journey. And because of that, they say that you're a very competitive individual who's not willing to put others first. And I don't think that's true. I just feel like you're tired of putting people first who don't matter anymore, right? We have the Strength coming out in the reverse here. Yeah, and so they're saying that you're repressing your emotions. They say that you're not as strong as you seem. They're saying that you're not in a position to do what it is that you're doing, but I do feel like you do have the experience in order to do that. But they are putting out there that you're someone who's just stuck in cycles, and that you still have a lot to deal with. You still have a lot to experience, and that you still have a lot to gain from that. And so it's the gossip on you right now. And on the bottom of the deck, what do we have? We have the Page of Wands coming out here. So some of you, people could be saying that you only got to the position that you got because you slept with somebody. That's something that is coming through here. And others are just saying it was blind luck. But, the thing is that it's hard for people to realize that sometimes when you just put yourself first, that things work out for you. Because others are so busy trying to fight for somebody else's ideals. But when you begin to fight for your own ideals and things work out for you, it's hard to see that it happens faster than you'd ever imagine, right? Yeah, they're saying that you did not get this position by hard work, even though you're a hard worker, and they mention that you're a hard worker. Wow, that is way too many cards. This is the one they want. They mention that. They mention that you're obsessed with work. That it's almost to your detriment of how much you work. Please have some oracle cards for pile 1. Thank you. Okay, please have some oracle cards. Thank you. Yeah. Look, we have beaver coming out on the bottom. Work. Yeah, you're always at work. You're always doing something for work. You're always focusing on work. Right? There's nothing that you find more joy in, I feel, than work. And it's like, that's what they're always talking about, is how hard you're working. But again, there's like this idea that maybe you didn't earn what you have. And I feel like that's just them not understanding the amount of work that you put in. So we do have fear, hyena here. It's like they feel like you're afraid to actually like put out your true potential, or to put out who you really are. In reality, if you look at this, the head of this hyena is living in lack. Okay, and the butt is in prosperity. And I feel like this is it. It's like they're too busy focusing on what's lacking in their own life that they can't even celebrate you for what you have in your life. Seeing that if they just took a page out of your book, just one, just not the whole book, one page out of your book would get them leaps and bounds further than where they're at, you know? And it's frustrating. It's frustrating that people really think that they have a say and that they can gossip about other people's lives like this. But they do, you know, people do. They feel like they have a say in how other people live all the time. And it just always baffles me, really. Yeah, forest, breath. So you've been in situations where you've had to choose, do I fight or do I flee? You know, and you've had to learn how to breathe through it. You've had to learn to find balance in this. You've had to learn to open yourself up to what's meant for you. And that's not been easy. Okay? And I feel like you maybe have heard some of this gossip come down the chain. And it's probably frustrated you in a lot of different ways. And, you know, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. This is absolutely frustrating. It's one of those things, though. It's like you have to learn how to breathe through it so that you can realize that what others are saying of you is not your truth. You are your truth. And you're being depicted here in a very powerful position. And to own that. Look, we have sextile, a combination of tension and flow. Potential in a rewarding situation. Didn't I say like they don't think that you're showing your true potential? I feel like you are. I feel like you're working at 100% all the time, whatever 100% is for you for that day. And I feel like you actually get to experience your true potential all the time, which is why you're in the position that you're in. And it's like they're saying that you have so much more potential, but that's the thing. It's like they're not seeing what's going on behind closed doors. Yeah, we have Neptune, dream and transcend. You're fulfilling your dreams. And it's something else that they talk about, that you're willing to fulfill your dreams, but it's like it's weird. It's this weird place. It's like, oh yeah, pile 1 wants to fill their dreams. They want to live their dreams. They want to live their journey, but they're not showing their true potential. So this could be people who have only seen a portion of your journey, and they're not seeing what it is that you're creating right now. And no, they don't want these. Okay. They want these ones. And now it's just you're the only one that's experiencing what it is that you've worked hard for, right? And you don't need to share that with anyone else. You have nothing to prove, pile 1. Let me tell you that. Like, you have nothing to prove to another person. What else did you want to say here, Source? Thank you. Yeah, like, you're being guided by your angels, by your spirit guides. Like, I do feel like there's a sense of you learning how to reconnect with your inner child here, but you have all these cherubs here, so you're actually a very sweet person. But the transformation that you're going through is something that's very spiritual by nature. It's not something that people are going to see physically until once the physical catches up with you, right? What do we have here? The seeker. I seek new friends and experiences to expand my awareness. That's it. That's why you're setting the boundaries. You're seeking something new. You're no longer connecting with these old people that maybe used to have a play in your part. Let me try that again. I promise you I can talk. You know, I'm human too, y'all. These are people who have always had a say and a part in your life's play, and now they don't, and they don't like it, and so they're saying all kinds of rude things about you. What do we have here? Look, 62, which is 8, healing karmic cycles, allowing abundance to come in. We have turtle spirit, slow and steady wins the race. That's it. You've been taking your time. Let's see what turtle says from the book. 62. Turtle spirit arrives to remind you that when you do what you need to do, putting one foot in front of the other and trusting that you will see your intentions manifest in perfect timing, your prosperity and love will grow exponentially. Now is not the time to rush around trying to force matters. Move slowly, perhaps even so slowly that it almost feels as if you are not moving at all. This may be a time to crawl before walking, taking your time to align to Turtle Spirit's place as you contemplate this road you are on, doing what you need to do in this small moment that will pass soon. Turtle Spirit reminds you that sometimes the best action is to slow down right now. So if it feels as if you're not doing enough, know that simply being aware of what is happening right now may be an important step towards determining whether you need to pivot or simply keep putting one foot in front of the other. True love and true success come with patience, says Turtle Spirit. Focus on the now, and the next step will be clear. And I feel like you've been very patient on this journey. I feel like that's why it feels like you're so competitive. It's because you've learned a good routine that works for you. But when other people aren't in a place where they're doing anything for themselves, you could have one routine and that would seem leaps and bounds ahead of where they're at in life. And so that's why a lot's going on about you right now, is because you're making strides in your life. Things are working out for you right now. And so it's like a lot of people just don't want to trust that. And this feels like people from your past, okay? People who you're no longer putting time in like that with anymore, okay? Remember, this is what they're saying about you does not make it true. If you feel like this is your reading, put the little angel emoji down below and say, I trust divine timing and take my time with my journey, so that you let source know that you are calling in good energy, you're calling in high vibrational energy and new friends. Leave me a thumbs up down below as well, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it here, get on out of here. But I want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, Pile 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of zebra jasper, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your reading on what is the gossip on you right now. So we will check this out at the end of the reading. First things first, though, just a couple of things here. Whatever's said in these readings does not make it the truth of who you are. Keep in mind, we are tapping into others' energy, and you know your truth and your truth alone. With that being said, that since they are general readings, keep in mind that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to connect directly with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. And you may also support the channel further by checking the links in the description box down below, where you can send me an email for a personal reading, where I will get you out scheduling options as well as further information. Keeping in mind there are only a finite amount of spaces available each week. They do fill up really quickly, and it is first come, first serve. Also, you can follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, or it's just a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. And honestly, I hope to see you there. So let's go ahead and get into it and find out what is the gossip on pile number 2, source. What messages can you give to us? What can you tell us? What is the gossip on pile number 2? Okay, so we have Venus, 7th house, and Pisces energy. So we have friends, families, co-workers coming in, exes saying stuff about you. Okay, with 7th house here, we have interpersonal relationships coming through. All right. What are they saying about you? that you're addicted to money. That was a message that just came through right away here with Pisces next to this Venusian energy. It just feels very like, this is my addiction, is money, and I don't know why they're saying that. Okay, again, people are people, okay? But really, they are saying that you're somebody who's very dreamy, you're mystical, you are intuitive, okay? Spiritual, compassionate, sensitive. Sometimes you do tend to be an escapist, but you do have certain addictions. It does not feel like you're addicted to any kind of substance. This feels like you're addicted to wow. Hold on. To certain things in life. I've been talking so much today that I'm getting tongue-tied, and so yeah, hang with me, pile 2. That sometimes you can be self-pitying and throw yourself a pity party, and that despite that, you're super romantic, you love music, and you're very introspective, that you can be self-sacrificing, that you can have your own self-undoing, but that you're somebody who's very talented overall. Okay? That you are somebody who's magnetic and you're attracting in love and good relationships. You love art. You're very sociable. You're very harmonious. You're a pleasure to be around. But finances is the one thing that keeps coming up here that people are like, you must be addicted to. You get gifts. You like luxury. You're very peaceful. You're very attractive, sensual. You're very comforting. You compromise and very balanced overall. Which it feels like it's compromise, or oh my gosh, the word just left me. It doesn't make sense when they're saying things like that. And then they're saying, oh, but you're addicted to finances, right? It's like people enjoy being around your company. They really love being in your energy, but they feel like you're somebody who's a high roller, and they just don't, like, even if they want to be a high roller and they want to have really good bank account and this, that, and the other, like, they don't understand where you're coming from. And I feel like you're just in a place where you're manifesting what you've asked for in life, and never feel guilty for wanting more money. You know, when we let that want control us, that's when it becomes a problem. So if you're asking for more money and then doing what's necessary so that you can manifest that, that's not the problem, okay? And that's never going to be a problem. And Source is never going to look at that like, oh my gosh, you're a terrible person because you want more money. Like, no. It's not ever going to be like that. But sometimes, because everybody has this twisted idea of what money is, it's hard to see somebody else gain money or gain access to a lot of wealthy things, and they don't know how to themselves, right? And so that's something that people who are close to you are talking about. But really, that's just the one thing. Honestly, it does feel like they really enjoy being around your energy. We will find out more with the tarot cards, but the dice are telling us they really like being around you. They really do enjoy your company, that you're really, really good person, and you're a healing person too. Okay, so let's ask the tarot. Source, what more can you tell us? What's the gossip on pile number 2? What's the gossip on pile number 2, Source? Okay, thank you. What's the gossip on pile number 2? Oh, this is a way better energy than pile 1. Let me say, what's the gossip on pile 2? What's the gossip on pile number 2, Source? Okay, thank you. But who knows? We could take a turn in the cards, too. You never know. But the dice are pretty good. What's the gossip on pile number 2? Thank you. What's the gossip on pile number 2, Source? What's the gossip on pile number 2? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright. Yeah. You're somebody who transforms a lot. You're always changing. Like, they're just like people not able to keep up with you because you're always changing. Like, you're doing something new, you're letting something go. Like, things that most people hold on to for a really long time, like, you're just basically breezing through it without worry. Yeah, and you have good things happening for you, but you've let go of hardships, right? You've let go of situations that were difficult for you. You let go of things that just, again, don't serve you. It's like, as soon as something bad happens, like, you're quick to move on. You're like, nope, this isn't serving me. This isn't working for me. I'm out. Bye. You know, and so the people talk about that. They talk about how you inspire them to leave things in their own life. Yeah, again, this idea of self-sabotage. Like, they talk about how you're your own worst enemy. And there's something that you don't want to heal from, even though you're always changing. Like, you're trying to control something in your life. You're trying to control the outcome of something in your life. Okay, we'll get some clarifiers to see if it comes out here. But again, this idea of addictions, when judgment comes out in the reverse, we're talking about addiction. This could be addicted to being treated a certain way, or, you know, having something in your life. But again, I go back to that, what the dice were saying. They're saying you have an addiction to money, even though we have no coins cards on here. But again, you do inspire people to change, but they do feel like you have an addiction to money. Like, maybe you offer a service and you are really good at what you do. Okay, and so when you ask for money for your service, you may charge higher than the normal person does for that same service, but you also know that you're giving them a step above the rest. And so people are like, oh, they only want money. Like, that's the only thing that they're in it for. Like, they're charging an excessive amount. And, you know, that's not fair. Like, they're trying to control this industry. They're trying to control their income, and they're trying to be better than everybody else. But the truth is that you actually can charge that much because you're giving better results than everybody else. You know, some people have a hard time with that. You have people who come into any industry, it doesn't matter what, they'll come into any industry and they'll charge $1 for the same service that should average out to being at least $40. You see what I'm saying? And so you may ask for $50 or $60 or $70 instead, and they're like, oh, well, I can get so-and-so to come and do it for $1. And it's like, cool, go ahead, have so-and-so do it for $1 and see what results you get. Like, you're fine with that. But they're just saying that, like, you're addicted to money. Like, you have some sort of something that you're trying to support, or like you're trying to gain something from them, or you're trying to gain something from others. And again, we have close personal relationships saying this, okay? It's not necessarily the people that you have as customers. This is like family and friends who expect a family and friends free discount, and you don't give them the free discount, and they're like, okay. And so they're saying, oh, well, the whole reason that pile 2 isn't where they want to be at is because they're their own worst enemy. If they just lowered their prices, they would be further along, or whatever it is. And that none of that plays into a part on where you're going. Like, you charge what you feel like you need to charge, or you offer what you feel like you need to offer. But at the end of the day, they are gossiping, saying that you are your own worst enemy, that you cause a lot of hardships in your own life, and that, you know, like, maybe you attract a lot of difficult people in your life, or difficult situations in your life, and they're saying, oh, well, it's all because of you. But here's the thing, most of these people, whatever they say about you, when they themselves deal with a difficult situation, they're the first ones to point blame at other people rather than take accountability, when they're expecting you to take accountability for the things in your life, which is absolutely absurd, right? Okay. Yeah, so we have the 9 of Swords coming out here. You've learned how to see the red flags. And if you see here, this cage is wide open, right? And it's like contemplation right now. It's like contemplating, do I free myself from this or do I not? And it's like they're saying that you've trapped yourself into a situation that you can't free yourself from. But the truth is they don't see that you're the one that had the lock and the key all along. Right? And so they're saying that you're the one that's putting yourself in these bad situations. That your dreams are too big. Right? With the 7 of Cups here, that your dreams are way too big. They're unobtainable. Right? Look at how she's walking away. The dragon has the gold and the jewels and everything, and she's walking away from the jewels. Because it's like cursed or haunted or something like that. You know, it's like they're saying your dreams are just way too big here. But you've set boundaries, like you're not sharing what it is that you're making with them anymore. So I feel like these are people that maybe knew your finances, like in a way that they shouldn't have known your finances. Like if you were making a certain amount of dollars per hour, like they knew, and they knew what all your bills were. And so every week they were like calculating your money. That's what they're, and now they can't do that. Now there's no way that they can do that because you're not like that with them anymore. And so they're just like, oh, look at pile 2 with their humongous dreams. Like they just need to get their head out of the clouds and come back down to reality, and they don't know. They're gonna fall flat on their face, and I'm gonna be the first one there pointing my finger in their face telling them I told you so. Like, these are pretty cruel people. But the truth is that you're letting go. I feel like you're moving on from them. So, and then we have the Knight of Wands here. Yeah, so this could be an ex-lover. It's interesting. I got that with the Four of Wands in the reverse here too, because it feels like an ex-lover who's doing this. So like, oh, they need me. They really need me to be in their life. I was their support system, and now they're not, because now they're dreaming so big. They left me. I feel like you left this person because of how they treated you, not because you have big dreams. I feel like your dreams are the reason you saw you deserved better too. And so, yeah, and maybe in a way it could be your dreams, but this is somebody that's definitely feels like an ex-lover that was in your life, okay? We've got romantic frustration with both of these cards coming through here, which indicates a broken heart from somebody. This could be ex-lovers, multiple, right? But I do feel like this is somebody in your past that maybe you had a life with, and they're coming through, and that's why they're saying what they're saying, okay? And never take it too heart what's going on, because source is showing here that you've moved on from something that wasn't serving you, and now you're bringing in a lot of good things. You're building an emotional stronghold, and you're really leaving those things that aren't yours, and you're building up to a financial security. So what are they gossiping about? We have the World here. Oh, maybe they're telling people that you either did want or didn't want a baby with them, or like there's something having to do with a baby here, but also that they felt like that was the one thing that you wouldn't give to them was a family. Like you didn't want to be like that. So if you had kids together, they feel like you took your family from them, or they feel like that you took their family from them. Or if you wouldn't have kids with them, they feel like you robbed them of that opportunity. And I feel like for you, this is a completion of letting go of situations that, like, this feels like entrapment to me right now. The World card, it feels like this is entrapment. Yeah, you owned, like, you own this beautiful energy and you left. You're like, if I want kids, I want it to be peaceful. I don't want it to be something that's very hectic and chaotic and temperamental and upsetting. And so you chose what was right for you. Didn't I say you had the lock and key the whole time? And look at in this Ace of Coins, she's holding this key ring. You're the one that had the lock and the key. You chose. It's like you're the one that decided whether or not you had a child with this person or not. You said, no, that's not going to fly with me. I'm sorry, I can't do that. We're not compatible in that way to have kids together. And I don't want to be stuck with you for my whole life in entrapment. We have House 11 here, friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. This is what you're moving towards. You're moving towards people who are in a similar place as you, right? Thinking the same things as you. It's like, I feel like maybe you've been alone for a while, right? And now you're not going to be anymore. You're learning how to network. Yeah, with curiosity, intellect, and networking. That's the other thing that with this problem, a problem with this person is how smart you are. And so this person may say things like, oh, how stupid, or how naive they are to think that they're going to be able to make it on their own. But the truth is that you are making it on your own. You're going to make it on your own. Yeah, because you're healing innocent childhood wounds. But again, this idea of children coming through, this could be someone that you had a baby with. This could be someone that you did have a family with and you had to leave because of situation that was just not, it wasn't good for you or the children, right? And so you removed yourself. Whoa, my throat, it felt like someone just went like this to my throat. Woo! Okay. This is a very specific message, and it is a trigger, and I apologize, but it is coming through. I feel like one or maybe a few of you, again, this is very specific, may have been choked or hurt by this person in some way, and it has to do with your throat. Like they either choked you, or they punched you, or they tried to like strangle you in some way, shape, or form. And I'm so sorry. I don't really like talking about stuff like that, but it was just come through so strong, and I know I had to mention it. So here's the thing, it's like the light like came clear for you, and you knew you had to save the children. You knew you had to save the kids. Like again, this idea, if you look here, it's just her with the babies here, right? It's just her with her house here. Okay, look, you even have the House of God underneath that, and it's in the reverse. It's like all this turbulence. When this is in the reverse, it's not wanting to face reality, not wanting to deal with the bad fortune that's going on. And so I feel like this is how this person is they don't want to deal with the bad fortune, but you're the one that went and had peace and harmony brought back into your life. Look, is she, oh, that's a lock right there. Look at this. That's a lock right there. And so the thing is it's like you wanted this peace in your life. You wanted the kids to be in peace. And if you didn't have kids, it's like that's what you knew you wanted to raise kids in, a peaceful environment. And so you decided to leave. And so we have 3 and 3 coming out, which is 6. You brought balance into it, but you were also guided by your spirit guide, your intuition, your higher self here. Ceremony invocation on the bottom here with DNA karma behind that. Yeah, you're healing karmic wounds. This is something that Source no longer wanted you to be a part of. So this gossip does not matter. This is Source saying whatever comes through, don't even pay any attention to it because it does not matter. There's nothing this person could say that would ever hurt you the way that they hurt you when you were with them. So we have ritual coming out here, Bison with 35. Again, 8. Those are karmic situations. You're healing them. And now you're coming into a very abundant place where you're very connected with Source energy. And you've turned into a bear. You're fierce. It's like this person, no matter what they say, they'll never ever touch you again. Never. Look at this. This looks like an angel behind him. Look at this flying. You're so protected. And it doesn't matter what comes up. Like, you are so protected. And I feel like this person feels the sting of Source. You know, it's like when they say, don't mess with people because you never know who their spiritual team is. Yeah, that's you. That's you. That's you, pile 2. And this person is realizing that. Like, every time this person says things about you, they feel the sting in their own life. Like, something happens to them or something falls apart for them. And, you know, or they get blindsided by someone or whatever it is. So we have this coming out here. Yeah, this was a tough lesson with Saturn showing up here in regards to your emotions. It's not that you deserve to go through this, because it's not what it is. It's like you ended up having to heal this aspect in yourself so that you could no longer call this. And I feel like you're also meant to help others along their journey because of something that you went through. This could have been a very abusive situation that you went through, and this person says all kinds of things about you now, more or less that you were the problem, that you're your own worst enemy, and that you left a good situation, but that it's because you're addicted to money. But see, now you're attracting in nice things, and so this person's like trying to show everybody, see, what I said was right. They're just addicted to money. That's all they want. That's why I never had money to give anybody. I feel like you guys struggled a lot when you were together with this person. This could even be a friend, right? It doesn't matter what role this, but it does feel like one person coming in here. Could have been a husband, a wife, somebody you were married to, but we have this energy coming in. I feel like whatever you experienced in this situation, you're actually going to help others heal from a very similar situation here. We have the reputable. I live my life as if my guardian angels are watching over me. I cannot make this stuff up. Didn't I just say that that's an angel here? It looks just like an angel. Okay, yeah, you are so protected here. You are so loved by the divine. Like, you have such a beautiful heart and soul that Source is not going to let somebody come in and ruin that for you. They're not going to let somebody come in and pretend like they have a say in how your life is being lived out, okay? So let's see what your oracle card is. Like the owl. You see clearly now. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Right? Hell yes, you can. Go on with yourself, pile 2. For real. We have number 43 here, which is 7. 7 is all about luck. We started with 7. We're ending with 7, right? But it's all about luck if you change what it is that you're doing, and you did. You are owning yourself. You've got this crown on your head, this beautiful white owl. You are connected to the divine in such a phenomenally beautiful way. This person can say whatever they want about you. The gossip, it doesn't matter. Like, what words are being said here, Source is saying it does not matter, because you are a warrior for me. And because of that, I am making you a testimony. At the end of the day, no matter what happens, no matter what people say, you, pile 2, are becoming a testimony. And you're being guided now to see clearly in your life and to see what's coming for you. What is yours? Let's see what Owl says from the book. 43. Here we go. Okay. It says Owl Spirit. Let me put this. Owl Spirit arrives to remind you that the wisdom within you is informed by your keen senses and the wisdom within the consciousness we all share. Even in the darkest night, the owl sees clearly and is guided by every sense it has, including the first sense of intuition. Right now, your sensitivities are turbocharged and you are receiving messages from all directions. And Owl Spirit reminds you to be wise and pay attention to what's between the lines and what is invisible to the naked eye, what cannot be heard with the ears, and what others may not be able to perceive. With all your senses aroused, you have much knowledge available to you. Clarity will come as you sit with all that you are seeing. Allow your intuition to guide you in understanding the whole and not just the parts. Let your wisdom arise and be your guide as you trust the acuity of all your senses. Intuition is real and can provide the clarity you need to understand your situation right now. Your relationship, your finances, your job, or whatever it is, you can see the truth clearly now. And isn't that odd that it says your relationship and your finances? And this whole reading has been about one person that you may have been in a relationship with saying that you were addicted to your finances, to money. That is such, oh my gosh, I love that confirmation for you. I love that confirmation coming through. You are so powerful. If you've ever felt like you didn't do the right thing, pile 2, just know that you did. You chose the right thing. And I think you know that, but I feel like sometimes you may doubt yourself, and there's no reason for you to doubt yourself. Source is coming in and making you a testimony. It may not happen overnight, but when it happens, it's going to be so profound. You're going to be so grateful to yourself that you made such a change in your life. Okay? If you feel like this is your reading, leave a little owl emoji down below and say, I see my story clearly now, so that you let Source know that you're calling in these higher vibrations of love. And leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, though, and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel Source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of raw aquamarine, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on what is the gossip on you right now. Okay, a couple of things. First and foremost, whatever's being said in these readings, understanding that we are tapping into another person's energy, so it is not your truth. You know what your truth is. So if you are being triggered by what's being said, that can either mean it's not for you, or it means that there is a healing option available for you. Okay, take it as it resonates, knowing that these are general readings. So as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it allows me an opportunity to directly connect with you and get you out more resonant readings. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box down below. You'll find all the links necessary where you can follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, or it's just a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. And I hope to see you there. Also, you can definitely email me to get a private reading where I will give you some scheduling options as well as let you know further information. I do have a finite amount of spaces available each week. Just keep in mind they are first come, first serve, and they do fill up rather quickly, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into your reading and find out what is the gossip on pile number 3 right now, Source. What messages can you give to us? How can you help us out? What is the gossip on pile number 3, Source? Okay, we've got Aquarius, we've got 8th house, and we have South Node. Yep. Okay. So, I mean, people are envious of you. I'm just going to say that right now. So they're just first and foremost, with the 8th house coming through here, we do have a lot of envy and jealousy being present. So I do feel like they do gossip about you being jealous and envious of others, and that you're in very karmic situations, and that's why you're envious and jealous of others, is because you're not doing anything to heal yourself, right? However, there's this energy that you have done a lot for yourself, and it's that you haven't shared a lot with people, right? So they do say and gossip about you being into taboo stuff, and that you're always very secretive, and that you don't say much, and that maybe you're very dangerous and they're not sure what to do with you, that maybe you have a lot of sex and you're very intimate with multiple people, and that you may have a lot of debt that you're trying to take care of and you don't know how to take care of it. Okay? Again, we're getting gossiping energy here, so don't take it personal. But that you are someone who's very innovative, you're friendly, you're futuristic, you're very intelligent, you're altruistic. You are emotionally detached, though, so it's like you're not somebody who's just constantly trying to help others or constantly trying. It's not that you don't help others, you're just not really connected to people in that emotional way. You're more looking towards the future. You may have a social platform that you work on, that you are inventive and you like science, you're very logical, and you're very unorthodox, and you might not have a lot of friendships, right? And people are talking about how this is something that's detrimental to your journey. They're gossiping about how, oh my gosh, like pile number 3, like they have to come out of the darkness and into the light, and they need to let people know what's going on with them, and they need to let people help them, and they need to let people, you don't need to let people do anything, okay? Let me just say. Like, let's be real. You don't need to let people do anything here, okay? But that's what they're gossiping about. And let's see what the cards say. I mean, they think you're a great person, really. But because you don't fit in, especially with this Aquarius energy, because you don't fit in with how normal people act, you know, by sharing their stories, talking about themselves, and sharing their dramas, they think that there's something wrong with the way that you approach others or that you approach everybody else. And that's... we don't need to be sharing all our stuff with everybody, okay? That's where gossip comes from in the get-go. And unfortunately, the last few generations have been all about gossip because that was the only thing to do. So, Source, what's the gossip on pile number 3 right now? Source, what is the gossip on pile number 3 right now? What can you tell us? What are people saying? What's the gossip on pile number 3? Okay, thank you. What's the gossip on pile number 3 right now, Source? Well, okay, thank you. They want it like that. Thank you very much. Okay. What is the gossip on pile number 3 right now, Source? Okay, thank you. Yeah, we have the devil on the bottom. That you're somebody that's obsessive, that you can be toxic because of this. Like, because you're not fitting into their agenda, you can be somebody that's toxic. But overall, you're very inspired, even though you may put yourself into a lot of situations that aren't good for you. You know, they're inspired by you, but that you're toxic. And again, this idea that maybe you're sleeping with multiple people, right? That maybe you have multiple partners. I'm going to switch these two around and leave that peeking. So maybe you put somebody in a third-party situation. I'm not saying you did or you didn't, but they're saying things like this, okay? That you're not balanced, you're not very harmonious, that you're somebody who maybe you work all the time, and that's the only thing that you focus on is work. And you, although it's not being depicted here in the dice, but we can have that with Capricorn energy here, and the devil is that you're constantly working and you're not letting people in to what it is that you're working on, and that sometimes has an adverse effect on the people around you. Like, they're like, oh my gosh, like pile number 3, they'll never tell us what it is that they're working on. Like, why can't we just know? That's your business. I'm sorry, but that's your business. Yeah, they feel like you're hemmed in, and so they gossip about how you never go out, but you're so positive. And how can you be so positive when you never go out because you have all these secrets? Look, everything that I was feeling coming out here in the cards, right? The 4 of Swords in the reverse is talking about being hemmed in, which is the exact same energy as the Sun in reverse. Like, you're stuck in a position, and the only reason you're stuck in that position is because you're not going out and getting to know people. You're not networking. You're not doing this. You're not being out and about, even though you're the super friendly person. I'm sorry, you may be an empath, and being an empath and going out and being around a ton of people all the time is flat out exhausting. Like when people like come home and they're from work and they're like, oh, I'm exhausted, and it's because they spent all day doing mental stuff and this, that, and the other, and they can't even open their eyes. Like that's what it is for an empath, to go out and be in crowds all the time. It's just exhausting. It's overwhelming because you feel everybody's energy. And even when you get used to knowing your own energy, like there's a point in time when you get to this, it's like, I know this is not my energy and I'm not holding on to it, but I gotta go. Like I gotta go so I can be by myself. You know what I mean? Like, and so with the Five of Swords coming in here, everybody's gossiping about how amazing you are and how you overcome negativity. And even when they're negative, like you help them see things from a different aspect. You help them see it from a very positive light, but that you're constantly keeping secrets, and this idea that you're dangerous. Hello, are you somebody that is working in the spiritual field? Like, are you a tarot reader, or are you somebody that maybe you read oracles, or you read palms, or you do like candle wax readings or something? Like I'm talking about that, like scrying, like you're a psychic medium. Like you have this, and this is something that has to do with your work, and you really are into it, and you share it with everybody. And everybody that's around you happens to be very religious, or very much like they follow a certain belief, and that belief is that anybody that's a quote unquote witch, okay, maybe you practice Wicca and you're an out in the open witch, right? Like you're cool with that, or a warlock, you know. And you're really cool with that, and you know, people just feel like that's dangerous. Like it's dangerous because you do things, right? Anytime the 8th house is in play, we're talking about occult, taboo, things that people are scared of. And it's like with the moon here in the reverse, talking about immediate danger, right? Like the moon in reverse is such a trip, because you're talking about mother wounds, but you're also talking about this idea of subconscious, it's like subconscious overrule. So it's like when you're just running on autopilot, but there's also this energy of sudden danger. Like, oh my gosh, this is very dangerous to have secrets here. The moon is a very versatile card. It is very wide in its meaning and what can be what it can portray, but it's like with this energy is like feeling like there's danger up here and feeling like there's danger here. There, like people gossip about you being a dangerous person, like, oh, it's dangerous for me to even know that person. What if they're casting spells on me, or what if they're trying to hex me, or what if they're trying to do this? And I feel like you're just a happy-go-lucky person that's just trying to do what you try to do best. Be you. And people around you, they just can't. Like, they could be super, super religious, and you would just go against everything that they believe in. But it's weird because you're also nothing like what they were told that somebody like you would be. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so like if it's like somebody who's very Christian, there's witches, they're terrible people, like they're ugly, they're this, they're that, and you could be a witch and you're just a beautiful person, you love everybody, you even help them see things from a much bigger perspective, and they're just like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe pile 3, because if I believe pile 3, like I'm gonna go to hell. Okay, like that's what this feels like you're the devil, right? But it's like the devil in the weirdest type of way. Like you're not actually, you know, it's like they say, like a thief in the night. Like you're the one that comes like a thief in the night. And so they feel very like it's scary to know you, but then they also want you to get out and go out more. Maybe they want you to get out and go out more so that they don't have to spend more time around you, because you know, it's like, oh, if they're out and about, then they can put all their energy out into people out there. But I feel like I feel honestly like you're a deep empath. I feel like that's too overwhelming for you. I feel like that's just too much, and they don't understand that. They don't understand when you're talking about things like that, especially if these are men. Now, and you could be a man too, that's fine, but men have this belief sometimes when it comes to people who study the occult or research things that, you know, they don't research, and they're very staunch religious, okay? And they have a tendency to be super, super judgmental. Now, it's not true of everybody, but I've just, in my own experience, have noticed that men who are very staunch Christian, Catholic, Mormon, XYZ, it doesn't matter, enter in the denomination here, and they're very, very, very judgmental and super judgmental. But it does feel like the thing they gossip about the most is how it's dangerous to know you, like how you could unravel their beliefs and how you could bring the devil in and how you're just somebody like they've never known anybody like you. Yeah, they wouldn't. You're your own person. Look, I'm done. Let's turn off the camera. Goodbye, pile 3. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't mean that. I'm just saying, I'm just like, look at this image. We have the high priestess or the popess coming out, and look at this. Look at this. She's reading a crystal ball. She's got her tarot cards there. She's got her grimoire right here. Look at this. And it came out in the upright. That's the thing. You are somebody who connects with the divine in such a different way than what they've been taught is okay to connect with the divine. I feel like you say your prayers. I feel like you meditate. You sit in stillness. You wait for answers. Like, you maybe journal. Like, you're somebody who loves to give to others, you know, whatever it is. But it's because it's different, and that's all they talk about is whatever it is that you're doing for work, or even if this is a hobby, like, and they know what your hobby is, that's all they talk about. That's all everybody around you is talking about, is that your hobby is very dangerous. It's very scary. Like, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you could be inviting in. You don't know what you're inviting in for them. And they're the ones that are scared. And I feel like you know exactly what you're doing and realize it's all intention. And you have no intention of connecting with something that you don't want to connect with. Like, so that makes it different, right? Because sometimes people will, I will say this, when I first started, I had no idea what any of this was. And so I just opened myself up to everything. And I had a lot of weird things happen to me, okay? Like, even when I first found out I was psychic medium, I opened myself up to some weird energies. It wasn't until I learned some rituals to protect myself and to put my intention out. I didn't understand what intention meant, right? And I feel like that's kind of something you learn when you get into this stuff, is that you have to learn, oh, there are safe ways to do it and there are not so safe ways to do it. So let's practice the safe way. I do feel like you are very safe about this. But we have the Lover in reverse here. Okay. The thing is they say that you're somebody who, this is so weird, is not spiritually known, like not spiritually inclined. Like you try, okay, this is making so much more sense here. Did you grow up in a very religious home? That's a question I have. And the reason being is because the energy that's coming through here is saying that you are somebody who is going to open up the whole family to spiritual demise, right? The Lover in reverse can mean a whole lot of things, but it's like spiritual angst, right? Like, I'm anxious about my spirituality. And so they're gossiping about you being this person and doing the things that you're doing, and you're just opening everybody up to this negativity. And really, the only ones that are being negative are the people who are talking about you. And I feel like you're a super positive person, honestly. You're friendly, you're loving. But you've also learned to detach because you know that Source and you are in it like this, and that's the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter the connection that you have with everyone else, but not everyone else can see it that way. Not even the people who are really religious or really devoted to whatever connection they feel that they are. You know, it's interesting. I just have to say, because I feel like pile 3, I feel like this is, they want me to talk about this because I feel like you're going to understand it. You know, have you ever find people who are super, super devoted in a religion or whatever, and they say they do these things, they do this, they do that, they do this, then you get together with them, and they're never an embodiment of all the things that they say they do. Like, they don't really pray, or they don't really help people the way that they say they do. Like, you just notice that, and you notice they're never as they never fit into the picture that they paint of themselves. So I'm a good person, I don't judge. Well, they're judging you. You know what I mean? Like, they all do the things that they say they don't do. And here you are, you don't even talk about the things that you do. And you're basically the living embodiment of the things that they say that they are. Does that make sense? I hope so. Anyways, that's the thing. It's like, I feel like that's what, you know. And so they're over here, they're not as devout as you are, but they're trying to paint a picture like they are. So we have the 5 of Swords coming out again, right? You are somebody who overcomes negativity, but look at this picture. You overcome it by being alone. You have to spend time with your spiritual connection, whatever that is. You have to spend time with yourself because that's how you come back to being centered, you know? And it's a slow process for you. And it doesn't need to be fast because it's something that's profound. But that's what people are gossiping about. Whoever's around you, they're gossiping about what you do for work and how scary it is. I feel like it's probably the least scariest thing. Even if you're, you know, like doing this like a tarot reader, you would, you know, if you ever get into tarot reading or if you have been a tarot reader and you ever offered somebody a reading, just out of the goodness of your heart and because source is like, hey, they need a reading from you, just give them a reading. Don't ask for anything. Just give them a reading, right? And you ask them, and the first thing, I could tell you this when I first started, I was like, oh, I'll give you a tarot reading. I would always get called to give people tarot readings in my first year. And the first thing that everybody said is, I'm scared. I cannot tell you how many people have told me that. And that's the energy that's coming in here for you. And then we have the 4 of coins here. Yeah, that's it. Look at this. Look at how big your perspective is. Look at how she's dressed all in purple, right? Your crown chakra is on point. Your intuition is on point. But you see, you're much bigger than this little door that they're seeing things from. Right? You're building your own financial stability doing what it is that you're doing. You're building up your own support system with source doing what you're doing. But they cannot see you the way you see things because the door that they're seeing things through and the life that they're living is like this. It's very limited. It's very self-limiting. And so they're in this place of putting it out on you that you're going to cause a lot of damage, this, that, and the other in the spiritual world. And I feel like unknowingly you may be clearing things that are actually very damaging in their auras because they don't realize what they're opening themselves up to. On the bottom, we have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, they're saying that you have a problem with authority, that you are somebody that just won't settle down, that you're somebody that's too quick to judge. And honestly, like, that's not how you are. I don't feel like that. I just feel like these people, they don't understand what it is that you do because they could never understand the connection that you have with source. They just cannot understand it. You've been time and time again tested your faith, and they have never been through the test that you've had to go through when it comes to their faith. Yeah, so we have the 8 of Wands, and you found the key to your knowledge, the key to your wisdom. You found it. You let go of control. You let go of the fear. But they're still scared, and they're being chased by the ghosts of their past. You're not. You're not. You let go of that. You found the key to your wisdom. It's just such a trip, these people. I mean, these are fun. I like doing these, but at the same time, I'm always like, man, people and the way they think, like the people and the way they show up for others, like, they're really so scared. Like, I feel like these are the people who are like, oh, I'm praying for you, pile 3, because I don't want you to go to hell. Like, I feel like that's it. And you're over there like, okay, you go ahead and do that if that makes you feel better. Look, we have Aquarius energy coming out again. Originality, philanthropy, progressive imaginings. Like, you're helping them see things through a very futuristic way. Like, it's no longer the old stories. It's no longer these old beliefs. You've cleared yourself of those, and you see things in a very different light. And whether you know it or not, you're actually opening people up to it. Some people are going to be open and receptive to it, and others are going to resist it and blame you for the resistance and suffering that they're feeling. But it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. Yeah, you're purifying. What did I just say? Didn't I just say that? You purified, you cleansed yourself of those old things, and here we have rain purification coming out. Yeah, you're purifying yourself, and in turn, that actually purifies those around you. Such a trip. These people, look, they're afraid. We have fear coming out on the bottom. I cannot make this up, okay? I cannot. That's it. Y'all know. If you're into divination, like, you know. You know what you know when you know it, okay? That's it. It comes through. They don't realize how spiritually abundant you are because they're living in a place of fear. You can never become spiritually abundant if you're afraid of the whole world. Like, it's never gonna work, right? It's never gonna work. Let's check this one out because it flipped over. So we have the Actor. I know how to act properly and wisely in this situation. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they're like, I'm going to pray for you, pile 3. I don't want you to go to hell. And you're just kind of like, okay, thanks for your prayer. Like, I feel like you're not somebody that's like, oh, I'm going to go to hell. Excuse me. Like, you're not somebody to argue. Like, okay, thanks. Like, that's nice. Thanks for doing that. Yeah, you're just very graceful. That's the image here. Look, and you're in your north node. Okay, you're following your north node. The south node doesn't even touch you anymore because you let it go. You're gaining messages, you're letting things come to you the way that they are, and you're unfolding in the world as a beautiful being that you are. But see, again, you're different. You're different than everybody around you. And they don't understand you because you stand out. Okay, where do you want to be? Jeez. Didn't want to be there. Didn't want to be here. Okay. No. No! What just happened? Pile 3! You're reading. I'm in love with you. Can I just say that? I'm in love with you. The North Node just came out. What did I just say? You're in your North Node. Look at this. Look at this imagery here. Look, the head of the dragon. That's what the North Node is. The head of the dragon. You're destined to have. This is what you're destined to. You're living your journey. You're destined to do what you're doing. That's also something that's very scary to people around you because you're so authentic. How could somebody be doing this witchcraft and be so authentic? Because you're doing what you've always been born to do. Like you can't. I can't. Look, house 2. Physical security, possessions, material values, and self-worth. Didn't I say that? You're bringing in financial success. Doing what you're doing. And this is what people are talking about. Oh, they're only in it for the money. They're only in it for this. But more or less, they feel like you're doing something that's so taboo that they can't even believe that you would ever ask people for money for what it is that you're doing. You know what? Whatever. Source led you down this aisle. This is your path to walk, and you are walking it with flying colors and a rainbow glitter, okay? Yeah, and you're super vulnerable about it. And that's what scares these people so much, is because you're so vulnerable and talking about who you are and what you do. Like, it doesn't matter. You could go up into the church and be like, oh yeah, sure, I read tarot, or I divinate, or I practice Wiccan. It's cool, but I'm here. I want to learn about what's going on. And while they're all judging you, you're just open and you're so kind and generous about it and loving and beautiful. Like, you're just a beautiful soul. Because this is your passion. You're so passionate about it. That's another reason why you talk about it, because it just comes from the depths of who you are. There's no getting around this. This is what set your soul on fire. Right? That's what set your soul on fire. And you're living it. You're living it. Yeah. And Source is bringing you people who are going to treat you as equals. If you don't already have people like that. But the unique thing that people talk about is that no matter how you get treated or how they treat you or what's been said about you, you treat everybody as an equal. And that kind of scares a lot of people because of the hierarchy, right? It makes them realize, like, oh my gosh, like nobody actually has more than another person. And so people who are really religious, who believe that they know better than you, like they're realizing and they're getting a very difficult lesson in humility because of you, because you're so pure, right? And you've dealt with the turbulence, but the turbulence doesn't bother you. And so they're over here watching you from a distance to see if you mess up, and you're just so unbothered. Like, that's the word that keeps coming through, is like unbothered by the way that they're showing up. It doesn't matter what they say about you, how they act or treat. You're just so unbothered by it. You're like, whatever, I love what I do. And if that doesn't sit right with you, isn't it great that this is my life and not yours? Isn't that such a wondrous thing? You're just unbothered by whatever comes. And it's like, they're over here, look, he kind of looks angry, doesn't he? Looks like, why can't I get through to them? But they don't see how stuck they are, right? If you took this guy out into the sea, he'd sink to the bottom of the ocean. Why? Because he's made of gold. Like, he's not going to be floating and being fluid. No. But they are bringing people in that are going to treat you as their equal, the way that you've treated everybody. Because you're so beautiful. I love you, Pile 3. I love you. So let's check out what your animal oracle card was, and then we'll read this from the book. Oh, we had 12 with 12 is all about your perspective, but we also have number 3 saying you're a very creative person. We have Canary Spirit with sing your own song. How fitting is this? How fitting is this card to your reading? Exactly. That's exactly what you're doing. And nobody understands the word in your song, but you know what? Who cares? It's still beautiful. And they can't help but listen to it because it is beautiful. And then they like feel guilty because they listen to it and like, oh my gosh, now I'm going to hell because I listened to pile 3. Like, no. Sources, I feel like sometimes Sources up there laughing with you like, oh, these people, they don't know. They don't know what's coming yet, do they? They just don't know. And it's nothing wrong with being staunch religious, but what the problem we run into is the judgments that come from I'm religious and you're not, so I'm better than you. That's the problem, right? That's where the anger comes from, and the wars and the destruction. It comes from that I'm better than you because I believe in something. But you never took the time to ask me what I believed in, right? But you're singing your own song. Let's read this from the book. Number 12. Okay. You see that? Perfect. Okay. So we have Canary Spirit arrives to help you find your authentic voice and express what is in your heart. Free yourself to experience your inner light and let it shine as Canary Spirit sings to remind you of your inherent joy and to support you as you sing your own song. Now is the time to let the world know who you really are. Canary Spirit message is that you are free to be yourself and express your most cherished desires. The world wants to hear your song. If your inquiry is about a relationship, you're being called to fully be yourself, for only then will you find harmony and joy. You can make music with others so beautifully when your note rings true. Isn't that everything that I've been talking about? Everything. I love this. I love this for you, pile 3. Like, I loved your reading. As crazy as the gossip is, it doesn't matter. Just being able to connect with you is just such an honor. Like, I have goosebumps right now because of how beautiful of a spirit you are, and I'm just so honored to be here giving you this reading. If you feel like this is your reading, leave a sunflower emoji down below and say, I am vulnerable when it comes to my passion, to let Source know you're ready to sing your song out into the world. Give me a thumbs up, but I'm going to go ahead and leave that here and get on out of here. I want to just take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angels, Source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this absolutely beautiful message as to who you are, pile 3. And until next time, stay human. Bye.